not every day that a zookeeper went to prison for murder for hire.
It is no secret that true crime has become an increasingly popular genre in media and society. Formats like The Tiger King with its famous contributor Joe Exotic are just one example. By blending fact and entertainment, Netflix left behind a fascinated audience that began to discuss a criminal case on Reddit and Twitter. The result of which are a new piece of pop culture, with memes, merch, and a country-singing convict who wants to run for president in 2024. But how did it come to that point? How is it that statistically our fear increases with watching true crime documentaries, but at the same time we cannot stop watching? Not even during breakfast. This video will explore how true crime became the genre that we know it for today, how it took over the world as a cross-target group guilty pleasure, and what role Netflix plays in this.
The story that I told was the officer came up to the car and asked his driver's license or whatever, and he just started shooting.
I looked at all the evidence, and I found I believe that David Harris committed murder.
Police officer was killed at 12:30, which is about 2.5 hours after he last saw me.
The jury looked at the same evidence.
The first significant true crime documentary is The Thin Blue Line from 1988, directed and produced by Errol Morris.
I was trying to make a film which answered to my interests. A film about the things that I'm concerned about. And at the same time make a film that would benefit Randall Adams by setting out some of the details of his case.
Being credited as the first famous single documentary to overturn a case within its own investigation, ultimately leading to the release of the wrongfully convicted prisoner, The Thin Blue Line also has been praised for its innovative use of new characteristics in documentary filmmaking. Morris's film uses sketches of the crime scene, photos, and is to this day known for its remarkably detailed and beautiful cinematography. It is also important to note that there is no outside narrator. The story gets told by involved people such as Randall Dale Adams himself, investigators and lawyers, and even the real murderer.
I don't know what the hell you people expect of me, but there's no way I could sign that. He left, he came back in 10 minutes and threw a pistol on the table.
Morris also pioneered reenactment as part of the storyline in his film, with a series of dramatically staged reoccurring scenes with actors. As Terence Rafferty put it in his review in The New Yorker in 1988, "We watched the same actions occur over and over again, with slight but significant variations, and we think that one more detail, a different angle of vision, will suddenly reveal the truth. The thin blue line makes us all obsessed detectives." It is safe to say that Errol Morris and his documentary film have paved the way and new techniques for all future true crime documentaries, as will be evident in the following part of this video. The use of reenactment plays a dominant role in the German TV format Aktenzeichen XY ungelöst on ZDF, translating to Case Number XY Unsolved, and its British equivalent Crime Watch UK on the BBC.
Guten Abend, meine Damen und Herren.
Guten Abend.
The show has been sold and adapted in 20 countries, including the USA with America's Most Wanted. The German original show, first broadcast in 1967, was created by Eduard Zimmermann with the intention to solve crimes by involving the audience through telephone engagement.
Aktenzeichen XY, Vorsicht Betrug. Live aus München mit Rudi Zerne.
Guten Abend. Wissen ist Macht, sagt man, und auch eine wirksame Waffe gegen Betrüger.
Currently hosted by Rudi Zerne, the format includes interviews with investigators or relatives of victims and 10-minute reconstructions of criminal cases.
Die Art und Weise der Tatbegehung,
die ließ einem die Haare zu Berge stehen. Ein normaler Mensch kann sich sowas überhaupt nicht vorstellen.
Also für uns hat sich am Tatort ein schreckliches Szenario dargestellt. Der weibliche Leichnam lag nackt, nur mit einem BH bekleidet, in der fast vollständig gefüllten Badewanne.
In 2013, Madeleine McCann's parents attended a broadcast for a public appeal to the audience. The daughter disappeared in Portugal in 2007 at the age of 3.
All was quiet, and I could see the children's bedroom.
The true crime genre undergoes constant change in terrestrial TV. Next to Aktenzeichen XY and its various adaptations, Crime Watch is a perfect example of this, as multiple adaptations of the show were made with Crime Limited, Crime Watch Update, Crime Watch File, Crime Watch Solved, and Crime Watch Live.
Hello and thanks for joining us. We've got a busy programme today.
Leicestershire
As
Police.
Eamon Carabin, professor of sociology, says, fact and public appeal are merged with dramatization and fiction, so that while it's intended to mobilize audiences to help the police solve crimes, it also entertains using crime stories. This so-called hybridization of fact and fiction emerges in the mixed use of CCTV, reenactment and other techniques throughout the Crime Watch episodes. Author Sheila Brown takes it even further. The cross-dressing between news and fiction permits easy genre travel, not just through the props on the set or the animation of the production, but in the exchange of formats and styles.
That's Crime Watch UK on Thursday night at 9:30. We'll be waiting for your call.
The biggest capitalizer of the true crime genre is no other but the streaming platform Netflix. In 2015, Netflix published its first big landmark true crime documentary with Making a Murderer. The creators of Making a Murderer, Laura Ricciardi and Moira Demo, followed and filmed Stephen Avery's case for 10 years. A man from a small county in Wisconsin who has been wrongfully sentenced for assault and rape and spent 18 years in prison.
There was no real investigation done by the Sheriff's Department.
The sheriff told the DA not to screw this case up. He wanted Avery convicted of this crime.
There isn't one iota of physical evidence in this case that connects Stephen Avery to it. In fact, the sheriff was told by the police, you have the wrong guy.
Many of the techniques used can be traced to Earl Moore's creation. You can see reenactment, detailed visualization of key evidence material, and especially significant is the style of highlighting words from documents.
I'm innocent. I didn't do it.
This award-winning series belongs to the subgenre of true crime, Court of Last Resort, where the journalist initiates their own investigation with the intent to free wrongfully convicted persons.
It's hard to take.
The documentary series sparked international outrage, even leading to a petition with thousands of participants, some of them being Hollywood celebrities. However, it also received criticism for being biased towards Avery's innocence, intentionally leaving out facts, and more so emphasizing Avery's defense team's perspective.
Oh, God, stay in your home! I was happy when
In contrast to earlier centuries, the audience can now participate through publishing their opinions on social media.
My name is Ted Bundy. I've never spoken to anybody about this.
But why are we so fascinated? Why are we so obsessed with watching this form of content? With its serious conversations with the killer, Joe Berlinger created a format that shocks but also tantalizes people. We as the viewer experience fear and pure shock, but from a controlled space like our living room, as close as never to real serial killers. Through blurring of fact and fiction, by mixing real tape recordings with dramatized staging, the viewer gets drawn in. The true crime genre gets constantly criticized for its sensationalist storytelling of sensitive stories. In the case of the documentary evolving around the notorious serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer, and the shortly after following feature series. Some relatives of victims expressed that they have been re-traumatized.
Members of Dahmer's victims speaking out, critical of the depiction and the profits being made off of their personal tragedy.
Additionally, true crime documentaries and their extensive success can in some extreme cases even create copycats. Like in the case of Scarlett Blake, who in 2021 firstly killed her cat, then a stranger, claiming to have been inspired by the Netflix documentary series Don't Fuck with Cats.
I was on Facebook one day, and I found this video. I pressed play. It was the worst video I've ever seen.
To sum it up, yes, true crime documentaries can have a positive effect by raising awareness, advocating for justice, or even helping in investigations. Professor of Criminology Dawn Cecil says, just as some true crime stories could be criticized for stoking paranoia, others could be praised for helping women to live in a society that is still violently misogynistic. Some people learn how to protect themselves. While that is often the case, true crime documentaries bear the responsibility for the duty of care principle. So, while true crime documentaries can be very valuable, there's always the risk of exploitation.